Now, this is the second fall semester as students, staff, and teachers, they have had to go back to school during a pandemic. But the virus has caused one teacher we found to say she won't be returning, while another teacher says the virus has helped him improve. So Local 5's Khalil Maycock spoke with those teachers. You join us now to share their stories and their whys of how they're going forward. So good morning, Khalil.
Good morning, Jackie. And both of those teachers say doing their job during the pandemic and trying to stay healthy was stressful. But for one, it's stress she wasn't willing to continue to deal with.
First of all, it was a really tough decision.
A decision Jamie McTaggart made to leave teaching after 8 years to stay safe against COVID-19.
She was a high school theater and English teacher in Des Moines public schools.
At one point last year, she took a leave of absence because of the virus. But she says that virus also highlighted existing problems she can no longer stand for.
That I felt like decisions were being made for me personally, for our students, by people who don't know us, I feel like didn't necessarily care about our well-being.
And she says the short notice for students and staff going between in-person, online, or hybrid learning was too much last school year.
There's no consistency, there's no routine. Depending on the school district you're in, do we need to be able to mask mandate? Do we need to be able to distance?
That uncertainty and the stress led to her not re-signing her contract last April. This was before Governor Kim Reynolds signed the bill banning mask mandates in school. But when the governor did sign, McTaggart says it reinforced how she was feeling.
I do feel still like I made the right decision.
And though the pandemic showed one teacher it wasn't for her, it proved to another.
I love teaching.
Kevin Atterberg has taught for almost 11 years.
He's a 7th grade science teacher at Stillwell Junior High.
He says adjusting to COVID-19 when it first hit was different.
I remember the days of sitting in front of my computer, waiting for a student to log into a classroom just to have the conversation. And I would have students every day, the same students every day, log in, and we'd sit there and just talk about cats or dogs.
He says at some points teaching became a task. Last school year, he taught students online and in person at the same time, but he says it helped him become better at his craft.
Do I stick to that deadline? Being open to fluid lines and being able to allow for extensions.
And although teaching through this pandemic has been hard, Atterberg says,
I would never walk out of the classroom, and I haven't.
And McTaggart says she doesn't exactly know what's next for her, but she says she'll never rule out teaching again.